Dear students and mathematics lovers, please welcome to the YouTube channel Mathematics Student Helper. Our present video is about series in real number. This is actually part 5. Here I discuss comparison test in limit form and some examples related with comparison test. In previous video, that is in part 4, we discussed comparison test in general form and we discussed convergence of P series, which is very important series to use in comparison test, and at last I give some examples. However, in our present video I discuss comparison test in limit form. I hope that you will understand whole the video. Please see whole the video by not skipping. If you understand my video, then after watching my video please like it and share it with your friends and subscribe my channel. Anyway, let's go. Comparison test limit form. Let xn and yn be two series of positive terms and limit of xn by yn equal to L, where L is non-zero, finite, real. Okay. Here two given series are series of positive terms which are xn and yn. So limit xn by yn must be greater than or equal to 0 and it is it exists. Suppose its value is L and we consider here L is non-zero finite real number. If L is 0 or L is infinite, then what happens I will discuss later after proving the comparison test. However, here L is a non-zero real number. Then both the series xn and yn converge or diverge together. Or that is, when xn is convergent, then yn is convergent. When xn is divergent, yn is divergent. And similarly, when yn is convergent, then summation xn is convergent, and when yn is divergent, then summation xn must be divergent. That means converge or diverge together. But in comparison test, that is in general form, we saw that they are not converge or diverge together. Okay, they are when xn less than or equal to lambda yn, then they are, if yn series yn is convergent, then summation xn must be convergent, and when summation xn is divergent, then summation yn must be divergent. But the remaining portion does not hold, that is, if xn less than lambda yn, then if summation xn is convergent, we cannot conclude about the series yn, and similarly when summation yn is divergent, we cannot conclude about the series summation xn. These are discussed in comparison test in general form. But here in limit form, when limit of xn by yn is a non-zero real number, then both the series xn and yn converge or diverge together. Okay. Here given series are xn and yn. They are series of positive terms and limit of xn by yn equal to L, where L is a non-zero real number. Since xn and yn greater than 0 for all natural number, then limit of xn by yn is greater than or equal to 0. You know that when xn is sequence of positive term, then its limit may be positive or it may be 0. For example, if you take xn equal to y by n, then its limit is 0. So when a sequence of positive terms, then its limit must be greater than or equal to 0. Since here xn and yn are both positive, therefore xn by yn must be positive. So limit of xn by yn must be greater than or equal to 0. But here given that L is non-zero finite real number, so from L greater than or equal to 0 and using that condition, we can conclude that L is strictly positive. Okay, so here we see that limit xn by yn is greater than or equal to 0. Let us choose epsilon such that some conditions is there. I will discuss later. We choose epsilon satisfying some conditions. Why we take epsilon satisfying some condition, I discuss later. However, in particular epsilon, we can find a natural number. Since xn by yn, limit of xn by yn equal to L, for the above positive epsilon, there exists a natural number m such that mod of xn by yn minus L less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to 0. If you use the definition of magnitude, that is modulus, then this will be minus epsilon less than xn by yn minus L less than epsilon. If you add L throughout the relation, then you get L minus epsilon less than xn by yn less than L plus epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m. Okay. Now from left inequality, that is, sorry, here actually I multiply the inequality by yn, here inequality remains unchanged because here yn is positive. So if you multiply yn, hold the relation, then inequality must be unchanged. That is L minus epsilon into yn less than xn less than L plus epsilon into yn. Now we consider left inequality, that means that portion, we consider that portion. So from left inequality we get L minus epsilon less than yn less than xn. Okay. Here actually now I divide L minus epsilon in both sides. If L minus epsilon is negative, then inequality must be changed. If L minus epsilon is positive, then this will be unchanged. So here we take L minus epsilon, there L minus epsilon positive. Okay, that is yn less than 1 L minus epsilon less than xn for all n greater or equal to m. You can take L minus epsilon negative also, but there you cannot use comparison test because here I use later comparison test. For that purpose also we take L minus epsilon as positive. Okay, so yn less than some constant into xn, some constant here we treat as lambda. Here lambda is 1 by L minus epsilon. Okay, here we choose epsilon such that L minus epsilon is positive. Okay, as a result here lambda is a positive quantity. So if you take L minus epsilon as negative, so you cannot use comparison test in that relation because in comparison test the constant must be positive. Okay, so here that relation holds for all n greater than or equal to m. So you can use comparison test in equation 1. However, from right inequality, that is from that equality we get xn less than L plus epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n. We take L plus epsilon as lambda dash, clearly lambda dash equal to L plus epsilon and it is positive. So here we see that yn is less than lambda xn, and here is we see that xn less than lambda dash yn for all n greater than or equal to m. Here lambda and lambda dash are positive constants. However, if you use comparison test in 1, using comparison test 1 we get, you know the comparison test in general form. I discussed in the previous video, there I said that when xn, series xn is convergent, then series yn is convergent. When series yn is divergent, then series xn is divergent. In other words, when the larger series is convergent, then the smaller series must be convergent, and when the smaller series is divergent, the larger series must be divergent. However, if you use comparison test in 1, then you can write if summation xn is convergent, then summation yn is convergent. Okay, and if summation yn is divergent, then summation xn is divergent. Okay, so from the relation 1, from that relation we can conclude that when xn is convergent series, then summation yn must be convergent series, and when summation yn is divergent series, then summation xn is divergent series. Okay. Now I use comparison test in second relation, that is from that relation. Using comparison test in 2 we get, here larger series is summation yn and smaller series is summation xn in the sense of after the step n. So here if summation yn is convergent, then summation xn must be convergent, and when smaller series divergent, that is when summation xn is divergent, then summation yn must be divergent. Okay. So you see that when xn is convergent, then yn is convergent. When xn is divergent, yn is divergent. Again, when yn is convergent, then xn is convergent. When summation yn is divergent, then summation xn is divergent. That is, xn convergent implies that yn is convergent and implied by. Okay, and xn is divergent implied by summation yn is divergent. Thus, summation xn and summation yn both converge or diverge together. Okay, this was the comparison test in limit form. I hope that you understand the theorem. If you have any question or any query, please comment me or you can mail me. Mail ID is given in description box. However, I give some examples. Test the convergence of the series sin pi by 2, sin pi by 4, sin pi by 6 plus dot dot. This is was also discussed in previous video by using comparison test in limit form, but here I use comparison, in previous video I discussed that problem by using comparison test in general form, but here I prove it, the convergence of the series, check the convergence of the series by using comparison test in limit form. Suppose given series is summation xn, clearly you know that the xn can be written as sin pi by 2n, because if you take n equal to 1, then this will be sin pi by 2, if you take x equal to 2, then this will be sin pi by 4, and etc. All the terms you get from that relation. Clearly xn is greater than 0, that is the given series is a series of positive terms. Okay. Let yn equal to 1 by n. Actually, to use limit form, we have to choose another another series yn, for which limit xn by yn is non-zero real number. Okay. Here sin pi by 2n, you have to divide sin pi by 2n in some real number depending on n, for which the resulting limit must be non-zero. Okay. Here sin pi by 2n, that is sin, if you take n tends to 0, that is sin 0. Okay. We know the formula limit x tends to 0, sin x by x equal to 1. We know the formula limit x tends to 0, sin x by x equal to 1. Okay. Here if you take n tends to infinity, therefore this will be in the form sin x. So if you divide sin pi by 2n by pi by 2n, then you can get result 1 into something. Okay. So instead of pi by 2n, I actually remove here the constant pi by 2. Just I take yn as 1 by n. Clearly yn is also positive, that is yn is a series of positive terms. So here xn and yn are both two series of positive terms. Now we have to find limit xn by yn. Okay. Yes, limit xn by yn equal to, here xn is sin pi by 2n and yn is 1 by n. Just here there are pi by 2n, so you have to write here pi by 2 also. For that purpose we adjust pi by 2 in that relation, so that is we multiply pi by 2 in numerator as well as denominator, that is pi by 2 into limit sin pi by 2n into pi by 2 into 1 by n. Clearly this is, if you take pi by 2n as t, then this will be sin t by t. If you take pi by 2 n equal to t, then this will be sin t by t, and limit n tends to infinite will be changed to limit t tends to 0. As a result, limit t tends to 0 sin t by t. That means this is equal to 1. As a result, this is equal to pi by 2 into 1. That means pi by 2. Clearly it is non-zero real number. Okay. So by limit form, convergence test in limit form, you can conclude that both of the series xn and yn converge or diverge together. Okay. You have to check the nature of yn, but here yn is summation yn. You know about the series summation 1 by n. The summation y by n is a series of positive terms, and it is the p series with p equal to 1. P series was discussed in previous video. There we saw that the p series is convergent only for p is strictly greater than 1, otherwise it is divergent. That is when p equal to 1, the series summation yn is a divergent series, that is summation yn is a divergent series. So if you use convergence test in limit form, then nature of yn and nature of yn must be same. That is, since here yn is divergent series, therefore xn must be divergent series. Therefore the given series xn is divergent series, that is sin pi by 2, sin pi by 4, sin pi by 6 plus dot dot is a divergent series. Okay. This is the solution of the problem, that is the given series. However, I will go in another problem which is also discussed in previous video by using convergence test in general form. The series was 1 by 1.2.3, 1 by 2.3.4 plus 1 by 3.4.5 etc. Clearly general term of the series can be written as summation xn. Here xn is, what will be the xn? You see, see that in first term, in every term the numerator is 1, but in first term the denominator is 1.2.3. Second term starts from 2 and then increased by 1 and then increased by 1. Third term 3, 4, 5. So xn must be 1 by n into n plus 1 into n plus 2. Here also you have to choose yn. However, here xn is greater than 0, that is given series is a series of positive terms. Actually, comparison test in general form or comparison test in limit form is applied only from series of positive terms. Okay. However, you have to choose yn. Just to see that here when xn in that form, that is denominator is a polynomial in n, and this is a 3 degree polynomial. If you simplify it, this will be 3 degree polynomial in n. Okay, so you have to take yn 1 by n cube, then you get non-zero real number. For that purpose, we take 1 by n cube for all n belongs to natural number. Okay, what happens if you take yn equal to 1 by n square or y by n equal to 1 by n to the power 4? I discussed later in some another problem in the present video. However, here yn also strictly greater than 0, that is xn and yn are both series of positive terms. Okay, now we calculate limit xn by yn. Here xn means 1 by n into n plus 1, n plus 2, and yn means y by n cube. Just after simplification, this will be n cube by n into n plus 1, n plus 2. If you divide numerator and denominator, then there will be 1 and 1 n cancelled with n, and there will be 1 plus 1 by n, and there will be 1 plus 2 by n. Okay, that is this. Okay, if you take limit n tends to infinity, this will be 1 by 1 plus 0 and 1 plus 2 dot 0. Actually, limit 1 by n is 0, you know this. So this is 1 plus 1 dot 0 and this is 1 plus 2 dot 0. As a result, 1 by 1 dot 1, that means 1, which is non-zero real number. So by comparison test, both the series xn and yn converge or diverge together. But you know the nature of the series yn. Here yn is a p series, because here yn is 1 by n cube. It is a series p series with p equal to 3. You know that p series is convergent only for p is greater than 1. Here 3 is greater than 1. So summation yn is a convergent series. That is summation 1 by n cube is a convergent series. So you can conclude that summation xn, that is the given series, summation xn is convergent. That is the series 1 by 1 dot 2 dot 3, 1 by 2 dot 3 dot 4, 1 by 3 dot 4 dot 5 is a convergent series. Okay. Okay. Let's go and another example. Test the convergence of the series 2 to the power n plus 3 to the power n 2 to the power n plus 1 by 3 to the power n. Solution: the given series with summation xn. Clearly, general term here given xn is 2 to the power n plus 1 by 3 to the power n plus 1. Clearly, here xn is strictly greater than 0 for all n belongs to natural number. That is, the given series is a series of positive terms. Now, actually, at first you have to take limit n tends to infinite. If this is non-zero, at first you take limit n tends to infinite as of xn. If you get that is this is non-zero, that is it may be infinite or is a non-zero finite number, then you can conclude that xn is divergent series. Okay. However, if I write xn in another form, just I take common 2 to the power n from numerator and 3 to the power n from denominator, then this will be 1 plus 1 by 2 to the power n, denominator 1 plus 3 to the power n. Okay. Please see that if you remove that terms 2 to the power n by 3 to the power n, then remaining portion is that 1 plus 1 by 2 to the power n, 1 plus 1 by 3 to the power n. If you take limit of that portion, this will be 1, because limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2 to the power n is 0. You know that in series, in the chapter series, r to the power n tends to 0 as n tends to infinite if mod r less than 1. Here r is half. Okay. Or otherwise geometric series is convergent if common ratio is less than 1, magnitude of common ratio is less than 1. Okay. Now you have to remove that terms. For that purpose, you have to take yn as 2 to the power n by 3 to the power n. That is 2 by 3 whole to the power n. Clearly, yn is greater than 0. So here xn and yn both are series of positive terms. Now if you calculate limit xn by yn, then what will the result? If you divide that by that, then 2 to the power n by 3 to the power n must be cancelled. As a result, this will be limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 by 2 to the power n, 1 plus 3 to the power n. If you calculate, this will be 1, that is non-zero. Okay. So both the series xn and yn converge or diverge together. Just I say another logic. Suppose xn was 3 to the power n plus 1 by 2 to the power n plus 1 instead of that form. Repeat again. If xn was 2 to the power n plus 1, sorry, 3 to the power n plus 1 by 2 to the power n plus 1, then this will be reciprocal of that. That is 3 to the power n plus into 1 plus 3 to the power n will be in denominator, will be in numerator, and 2 to the power n into 1 plus 2 to the power n will be in denominator. Okay. As a result, if you take the limit in that first bracket, this is in the actually in numerator and this is actually in denominator. So limit of that portion will be 1 and this will be 1. Okay. But there will be 3 by 2 whole to the power n. Here 2 by 3 whole to the power n. But if the problem will be another problem, that is 3 to the power n plus 1 by 2 to the power n, then there will be 3 by 2 whole to the power n, and this will be in numerator and this will be in denominator. As a result, this is 1, this is 1, but if you take here 3 by 2 whole to the power n, this limit will be tends to infinite. That is, in that case, limit must be non-zero. So you can conclude that a series xn is divergent series. Okay. However, here the limit is here limit is 0, limit of xn is 0. So you cannot conclude about the nature by seeing the limit of xn. Okay. However, here limit xn and yn, xn by yn is non-zero. Okay. Here actually see that here yn is 2/3 whole to the power n. Remember it, I use it. That actually yn is a geometric series with common ratio 2/3. Here since the limit is non-zero, by comparison test of limit form, both the series xn and yn is converge or diverge together. But summation y by n is 2/3 whole to the power n is a geometric series with common ratio 2/3. Okay. Here 2/3 actually 0 less than 2/3 less than 1, that is magnitude of common ratio is less than 1. So the geometric series convergent series, that is summation yn, that is summation 2/3 whole to the power n is a convergent series. As a result, by using comparison test in limit form, we can conclude that the given series, that is summation xn, is convergent series. Okay. So this completes the solution of the problem. Now I give some corollary. This is the comparison test. Xn and yn be to see the positive terms and limit xn by yn equal to L, where L is non-zero finite real number. Then both the series xn and yn converge or diverge together. What happens if L is 0 or infinite? Let xn and yn be to series of positive terms and limit xn by yn equal to L. Okay. If L equal to 0, then what happens? Actually, I prove it, but before proving, I give some concepts. Actually, limit xn by yn equal to 0 means denominator is larger and larger than xn. Denominator, that is yn, they are larger than xn. Okay. If you take denominator larger to larger and xn numerator as smaller and smaller, then resulting must be tends to 0. Okay. Since here limit 0, that is if you take limit n tends to infinite, then xn by yn must be 0. That is yn is larger than xn. That is why you can conclude that yn is larger series and xn is smaller series. So we can conclude that if yn is convergent, then xn is convergent, because yn here is larger series, and if smaller series is divergent, that is when xn is divergent, then yn is divergent. Okay. Now if L equal to infinite, that means limit n tends to infinite, this is infinite, means numerator is larger than denominator. That is, we can conclude that summation xn is a larger series than summation yn. As a result, by using comparison test, we can conclude that if larger series is convergent, that is, if summation xn is convergent, then summation yn must be convergent. And if summation yn is divergent, then summation xn is divergent. This was the conceptual. This was the concept of case when L equal to 0 and L equal to infinite. Now I will prove it in general form by using comparison test. Okay. Corollary 1, let xn and yn be two series of positive terms such that limit xn by yn equal to 0. Then summation yn is convergent implies that summation xn is convergent, and summation xn is divergent implies that summation yn is divergent. Okay, I give the concept of the theorem, but now I will prove. Given that xn and yn be two series of positive terms such that limit xn by yn equal to 0. Let epsilon be arbitrary positive real number. It is not fixed, not arbitrary. I take here epsilon a positive real number, fixed positive real number. So, since limit xn by yn equal to 0, then by definition of limit, we can conclude that there exists a natural number m such that mod of xn by yn minus 0 less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m. That is minus epsilon less than xn by yn less than epsilon. Here yn is positive, so you can multiply yn in throughout the relation. So this implies that minus epsilon into yn less than xn less than epsilon to yn. Now I take inequality from right portion because you can not take left portion because their constant is negative. If you take constant in right side, then the inequality is changed, and there also the constant is negative. So you cannot use comparison test in that form because the constant term is negative. Because in comparison test we use when the constant is positive. So here I consider the right hand side, that is that inequality. From right inequality we get xn less than epsilon yn for all n greater than or equal to m, where epsilon is positive. So here this is positive quantity. So by comparison test we can conclude that when larger series is convergent, the smaller series is convergent. That is when yn is convergent, then xn is convergent, and when smaller series is divergent, larger series is also divergent. That is when xn is divergent, then yn is also divergent. Okay. So I prove corollary 1, that is when L equal to 0, then denominator convergent implies that numerator convergent, and numerator divergent implies that denominator divergent. Okay. There are no conclusion when summation yn is divergent or summation xn is convergent. Okay. Now corollary 2, here I discuss when limit is infinite. Let xn and yn be two series of positive terms such that limit xn by yn equal to infinite. Then summation xn is convergent implies that summation yn is convergent. That is, actually here xn by yn, limit of xn by yn infinite means numerator is larger than the denominator. That is, we can consider summation xn as larger series and summation yn is a smaller series. So larger series convergent implies that smaller series convergent, and smaller series divergent implies that larger series divergent. Smaller series means summation yn, that is summation yn is divergent implies that summation xn is divergent. Given that xn yn be two series of positive terms such the limit xn by yn is infinite. Since xn by yn diverges to infinite, so from the definition of divergent sequence you can conclude that for every positive real number, however large it may be, suppose b be a positive real number, so for that b there exists natural number m, here I consider the natural number m such that xn by yn is greater than b for all n greater than or equal to m. Okay, diverge means if you take any larger number, then you can get another elements of the sequence which is larger than your number. If you take your 1000, suppose 1000, so you can get an element of the sequence, actually not one element, actually there are steps, suppose m, after that step all the elements is larger than 1000. If you take the real number as 1 lakhs, then all the elements of the sequence after m, they must be strictly greater than 1 lakh. Okay, this is a definition of divergent sequence. So from that relation, if you multiply yn in both sides, then you must get yn less than 1 by b xn. Actually here I divide, here I multiply yn by b in both throughout the relation. Here if you multiply yn by b, then this will be 1 by b into xn, and there will be yn. Okay. Okay. Therefore, by comparison test, here you see that here xn is larger series, summation xn. So when larger series is convergent, then smaller series is convergent. That is, if summation xn is convergent, then summation yn is convergent also. Okay. And if smaller series is divergent, then larger series must be divergent. That is, if summation xn is divergent, then summation xn must be divergent. This was the proof of corollary 2. That is when limit infinite, you get that result. That is when numerator convergent, then denominator convergent, and when denominator divergent, numerator is divergent. You cannot conclude when xn is divergent or when yn is convergent. Let's back the previous problem. That is, in that problem, I hope that it is in your memory. Actually, I prove that it is a convergent series by using yn as 1 by 1 cube n cube. This was the p series with p equal to 3, that is greater than 1. Okay. However, if you take 1 by n instead of 1 by n cube, what happens? Let's go in calculation. Limit xn by yn, that means 1 by n into n plus 1 by n. This is the this is xn, this is yn. After simplification, this will be 1 by n plus 1. Okay, after simplification, this will be that. Okay, after cancellation, n will be cancelled, that is 1 by n plus 1 into n plus 2, that is limit is 0. Okay, so when limit 0, 0 means denominator is smaller and numerator is larger. 0 means denominator is smaller, numerator is larger. Okay, that means when xn is convergent, then yn is divergent. Sorry, this is larger series, xn is larger series. That is, when xn is convergent, then yn is convergent. When yn is divergent, again sorry, this is 0. Actually, I give the concept, so I confused. If you remember the definition, so you have not need the concept. If you remember the case when L is 0 and or L is infinite, so you need to remember the concept. But I remember the concept, for that the confusion occurs. However, I repeat again. Here limit 0 means this is smaller, this is larger. If you divide a larger number with from a smaller number, if you divide a larger number from a smaller number, suppose if you divide 1000 from 1, this will be very, very small. If you divide 1000 by 1, this is large. Okay, that means tends to infinite. So here denominator is larger. So when summation yn is convergent, then summation xn is convergent, and when summation xn is divergent, then summation yn is also divergent. But you cannot conclude that the cases when summation yn is divergent or when summation xn is convergent. Repeat again. Here actually yn is larger. Okay, so when limit is 0, then we get two result. First result is when summation yn is convergent, then summation xn is convergent. Second result is when summation xn is divergent, then summation yn is divergent. But in remaining cases, you cannot conclude. What are the remaining case? In remaining case, first case, when summation yn is divergent, you cannot conclude about the nature of xn. And case 2 of remaining case, when xn is convergent, you cannot conclude about the nature of xn. Okay. However, here yn is a p series with p equal to 1. It is a divergent series. So you cannot conclude the nature of the series xn by using that yn. Okay. Therefore, convergence of xn, that is that series, is not concluded, cannot be concluded. Okay. However, if you take yn equal to 1 by n, so you cannot conclude about the nature of the series. But if you take yn equal to 1 by n cube, then you can conclude the nature of the series. For that case, this is convergent series. Now, I take another form of yn. Suppose I take 1 by n square instead of 1 by n cube. So xn by yn means that, okay, here also n square by n into n plus 1 n plus 2, if you calculate it, this will be also 0. So when 0, what happens? If yn is convergent, then xn is convergent. When xn is divergent, then xn is divergent. But here y is a convergent series, because this is a p series with p equal to 2, that is greater than 1. So it is a convergent series. Okay. So limit is 0, but here denominator is convergent series, that is larger series is convergent. As a result, we can conclude that summation xn is convergent series, that is the given series is a convergent series. Okay. So if you take yn equal to 1 by n square, you get the result. Again, if you take 1 by n to the power 4 instead of 1 by n cube, what happens? Let's go in calculation. Limit xn by yn means that if you calculate, this will be n to the 4 by that. See that in denominator there are 3 degree polynomial, but in numerator is fourth degree polynomial. As a result, the limit will be infinite. So in infinite case, infinite means numerator is larger, denominator is smaller. That is when xn is convergent, it is convergent, yn is convergent. When yn is divergent, xn is divergent. Up to this you can conclude it. But remaining case, that is, since this is smaller, that is when this is convergent, you cannot conclude about nature of xn, and when this is divergent, you cannot conclude about the nature of yn. Okay. When yn is convergent, you cannot conclude about the nature of xn, because it is the smaller series. Okay. But here yn is a divergent series, because this is a p series with p equal to 4 greater than 1. So here convergence of xn, that is the convergence of a given series, cannot be concluded. Okay. I hope that the corollary 1, 2, that is the cases where limit 0 or infinite. Okay. If you have any problem, please comment me. In coming part, I discussed, that is in part 6, I discussed D'Alembert's ratio test. This is another test for convergence of positive series of positive terms. This is called D'Alembert's ratio test. It is very useful. Okay. However, please see next video. Anyway, thank you for watching whole the video.